When we think about AI, we think in often cases about chatbots. Chatbots are great, but chatbots are not necessarily tied to AI. AI can also be used in other ways and formats and in different interactions. But we associate, especially generative AI, mostly through some sort of chatbot interface. Because ChatGPT is a chatbot. Microsoft Copilot is a chatbot. When you have a chatbot, you always need to have someone who is interacting with that chatbot in some sort of Q&A sense. So something that is interactive. That's not like a job that you can run and you get it back later. You have to be there, you have to have prompts, and you have to iterate. This is in some cases really great, and in some, it doesn't help you a lot. We are going to look deeper into when chatbots are really great, what their limitations are, and what other options are out there to do stuff with generative AI in enterprises. Chatbots are really great in situations when you have creative tasks that need interactions in processes that are always different. Creative tasks have a lot of benefit by having some sort of, you wouldn't say a colleague, but some sort of opponent on the other side who you can interact with. That's why when we have great ideas to work on presentations, we work together with a colleague. Or that's when we have some new ideas for new concepts, we are trying to kind of spoil it around our group, our peer group of people that are experts on us. Now, a large language model with generative AI that is bundled in a chatbot can help with these things quite a lot by bringing up information that is related to what you're saying, questioning, and also helping you basically just to get things done and produce content based on your interaction and feedback. But if you have recurring processes that need a repeatable quality, then a chatbot doesn't really help you then. But there's other ways around that, and we are looking into them next. One of the prime use cases of using generative AI in chatbots is customer support. Customer support is usually a very interactive way. So if you have someone on the phone, it usually takes a customer to more than just a sentence to describe what they're looking for, because otherwise many of them would have found it in some online documentation. So customer support lives from this type of interaction, of narrowing it down, of guiding a certain user with questions to identify their needs and provide the right answers in the right format to them. And a chatbot is very good for that, because you can ask as many questions as you want with retrieval augmented generation. You can get knowledge bases hooked up to a chatbot, and you have really this interaction with a customer. But be sure to always keep in line when you have to step out of a chatbot and when someone else needs to come in. Because we know generative AI can have some hallucinations, and it would be bad if you would get some hallucinations to your customers. So always, when doing chatbots for customer support, they're great, but they need a mechanism for supervision. Chatbots are great for knowledge work. When we think about a situation where we have some sort of retrieval augmented generation workflow, where we can have our own internal company resources attached to a chatbot, and we can query a lot of knowledge that is somewhere in the organizational membrane of our organization, we can do a lot of information retrieval and knowledge work, especially when we would want to go back in the history on our experiences from stuff like previous projects or previous documents that someone else created. We usually have in the company or the organization that we work with some person that knows where all of this information is compiled. And when we build a chatbot with generative AI that has access to that knowledge base, we basically free up capacity from that one guru that you probably have in your team or somewhere up in your organization that has been in the company for the last 20, 30 years and knows all of these things by hand. And in that case, having a chatbot with that information works really great for knowledge work and for information retrieval of private data inside the company. Another really good use case for using a chatbot in an enterprise is when you have one-time tasks. So these are these small little efficiency improvements. Rewriting a text, rephrasing a text, making some adjustments, extracting some information on a piece of text that you have just gotten, summarize, etc., etc. That works really well if these are tasks that are always different. On the other hand, if you have tasks that are repetitive, recurring, and that always have the same steps that you have to execute in a sequence, then only use the chatbot to create a template for a process interaction with knowledge base and a large language model to work with that end to end. A chatbot can be very good and very well used because it's so quick, with generative AI especially, and helps you to structure things before you make recurring tasks a template so that you can reuse them at a cohesive quality and a reproducible quality. Chatbots with generative AI can help you in a lot of use cases and can make improvements, but in most cases, I would label these improvements somewhere under the umbrella term of efficiency improvement of some sort, of some extent that you have. When it comes to making your day-to-day operations work with recurring tasks and where you have more complex processes than asking a simple question to ChatGPT and getting the answer, then a chatbot is not the best interface to do that because you want to have reproducibility. You don't want to upskill your whole organization to write the right prompts, and you want to be able to get consistent quality out of that. And this is a situation when you have recurring tasks with more complex processes, where you have several data sources and several predefined standardized steps in a procedure. Then is the point where a chatbot is not enough anymore. And then is where you need to look into automation solutions or general solutions that have a different interface and that can cope with these type of challenges that you have with a chatbot and that you don't have it. But there are ways to get around and do that. And for that specific niche, there's a lot of value and efficiency to be gained if we abstract our mind away and say, no, always we have to have chatbots for everything. One solution that I would like to bring closer to you when your solution that you need is too complex for simple chat workflows and entAIngine. With entAIngine, we focus on a no-code platform that helps you build very complex processes that needs more than a chat interface to interact. You can define with a no-code interface workflows. You can attach different data sources. You can transform. You can even call external functions that are not necessarily generative AI to bump up the quality of what you get out. Cases like that are in enterprises manifold, but think really about recurring back office tasks that are always the same, but need customization based on the text that is there. So stuff like answering to RFQs, contracting, writing reports, analysis of certain project management reports, legal related tasks like contracting, and many other things where you need to be sure that something high quality comes out and you can be in the loop. This is cases where we with entAIngine come in and we build a customized solution that has generative AI, but it is much more powerful